Wait. Hi, welcome. My name is Nydia.
I'm Rigo.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Go ahead and take a seat. So did you get a chance to visit our campus?
Yes, I actually was walking around a little bit around the campus before I came into the building, and it's a very nice campus. I had only been here about once or twice before, but it's an amazing campus.
That's great. Okay. Well, what we're going to do today, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions for the graduate program here that we have in communications. And afterwards, if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask me, and as well as during the interview, okay?
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, well, what do you know about our program here?
Well, I was doing some research on your website, and I know that you guys have different concentrations for your graduate program.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you can either focus in communication studies or in mass communication. And communication studies being more the interpersonal side of communication. Mass communication is more like broadcasting, TV, radio, things like that. While I am interested in mass communication as well because I have a minor in mass communication, I am more interested in the communication studies aspect of it because I really love working with people, and I just know that is my field.
Okay, great. And so, in college, what were the courses that you enjoyed the most and least, and why?
For the most, I would probably have to say any courses that involve my major, which is communication studies. That was my undergraduate degree. So interpersonal communication, persuasion, conflict management, interviewing, lying and deception, those were all my favorite courses. Anything that involved class discussion and skills that you would apply to real life were my favorite courses. Because after taking those courses, you really start analyzing everything about your life, the relationships that you have with other people, whether it be in the work environment or your personal life too. So I just find that really fascinating that what you learn in class, you actually apply it immediately to your real life. And you asked about the least, right? The least would probably be the basic courses that I had to take as a freshman and sophomore, courses that were not really pertaining to my major. Since I'm not really, like courses like, I do like science, but courses like astronomy and all that, I just kind of wanted to just focus on my major.
Okay, sounds good. How would you say your professors would describe you?
I would say that my professors would describe me as a hardworking student. I'm very dedicated to my courses. I try to show up the only times I do not show up to a class is if I have a legitimate reason. I try to show up every single time to class, whether that professor takes attendance, whether it'll count in any way towards the score. I know that you will get better learning by going to class and just turning your work on time. It's very important to be on top of your game when it comes to the classes. And I think I really find a connection with professors too. So that's another thing that I think the professors would use to describe me. I really strive to get to know them.
Okay. What do you do in your spare time? I know that in your resume it looks like you're very involved on campus, but I would just like to know what you do to relax or
to relax, mainly just spend time with my friends and family.
Okay.
We going to the movies, going to the park.
Do you have any hobbies or anything like that?
Hobbies? I'm really into film, into movies. So with my friend, there was one time when we went to the movies like the entire week, like every single day. So it's just, I really love that. That's just my de-stressor.
Okay.
Just whatever little time I have to spare, I try to go watch a movie theater.
That's good. I love watching movies. I'm more of a romantic comedy girl myself. In what ways have your previous experiences prepared you for graduate study in our program?
Previous experiences in whether academic or extracurricular or both?
Both, like
both.
Accommodation.
Okay, well, academic-wise, as I mentioned before, and as you know, I was a communication studies major, so I have the background that I need for the graduate program in communication studies. So I really have the background to be prepared for those courses.
Okay.
And extracurricular activities, I was involved in Student Government Association and also the University Program Board. I was the chair for the Heritage Committee within the University Program Board, which focuses on programming for campus. So we have events like comedians, magicians, multicultural events, such as DC States Septiembre. I don't know if you have ever heard of it. It's a Mexican Independence Day. I helped plan that event. So all those extracurricular activities helped me really become a better communicator, working in a team, being organized, helping you with time management, things like that. It really helps you with your leadership skills, and you grow. I grew so much from these activities as a professional and personally as well.
Okay.
And I think those are skills that I can apply here to the graduate program.
Okay, sounds good. Who is your role model?
My role model would probably have to be, I have one of my professors from back at University of Hispanic American. His name was Dr. Mote, and he's just a great individual, and I really admire all that he does. He was the chair of the communications department, and he was also involved in a variety of other campus committees and activities that involved students, such as the Distinguished Speakers Committee, which I was a part of. It amazed me all the things that he did. He had his normal job which was being the chair of the department, but he also did so many other things on campus, and he really strived to make that connection with students.
So he's really involved on campus and with the students as well.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds like a great professor. What would you say your biggest weaknesses and strengths are as a student?
My biggest strength, I would probably say, is leading a group. I really like taking charge of a group, but also my leadership style is taking everyone's into consideration. I try, in a group there's always one person that is kind of by themselves, or they try not to be, they're not very cohesive with the rest of the group. But I really strive to include everybody and take everyone into account. So I would say that that's my biggest strength. It's getting everybody together. My biggest weakness would probably be that I can't say no to an opportunity, and then at the end of the day I have 20 million commitments.
Overbook yourself.
Overbooking myself is probably the biggest weakness, but it's just when I see an opportunity I want to take it. But it's just managing my time and just not spreading myself too thin. It's probably my biggest weakness. I have to realize that I can't do everything.
Yes. What would you say what do you believe your greatest challenge will be if you are accepted into this program?
My greatest challenge would probably be figuring out what I really, really want to do with the career, with the degree, the master's degree, because I have not, since I'm interested in so many different careers, so many different fields and options, I haven't really decided one specific field that I want to focus on. But what I'm leaning more towards probably right now would be working in higher education, working at a university.
Oh, great. So then afterwards you plan to go straight into your PhD, or would you like to work first after you get your master's?
I'm currently doing an internship back at University of Hispanic American. So that's really getting my feet wet. But I want to apply for a job after I get my master's degree at a university and see how that works out for me, see if I enjoy it, see if I find a connection with that. And I really think I do, because just being involved on campus gives you a taste of what it would be like.
Great. So it seems like you're following Mr. Mote's footsteps. Also, I was going to ask you, you seem to be motivated, but what motivates you to become a graduate student, or to graduate in these fields?
What motivates me is that I really love education. I really love being in college. I love working with other students. I love learning, growing as a person and as a professional, as I've mentioned before. So I think that really keeps me motivated. The more that I get involved, the more things that I do, that really drives my motivation.
Great. Well, do you have any questions for me, or?
When I was looking on your website, I saw that you guys have several hundred graduate students in this program. But what would you say how would you describe the ideal graduate student within the communication studies program?
I think that working together with the other students, since it is with teamwork, and learning from your peers, as well as applying what you learn in your courses into the outside world or into your personal life. But I think you have already mentioned that that's what you love about this field as well, is that whatever you learn in your courses, you actually apply it. So I think you're pretty much going the right way. And most of our students actually when you're working on your thesis, it's more applicable into the real world. So usually, that's what makes an ideal graduate student here. So, yeah.
And I think you can provide that for your program, for your university.
Well, that's great. Well, if you don't have any more questions for me, or do you?
Do you know who we will find out about our status?
I was about to say, within a week or so, I will be emailing you shortly for if you got admitted into the program, and if you have anything else that we need. Usually we have like a follow-up interview, so you will be notified through email.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I really appreciate you taking time to interview me.
Thank you. It was so nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
Good luck.
Thank you.